Good morning, afternoon, and evening. Welcome back to the Global Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Bodio, and with me I have Kaylie Horowitz.
Hello.
And Andy Gibby Gibson.
It's dark outside and I'm not well.
For sure.
Oh.
It gets dark at 5:30 and I am not well.
Oh.
And
yeah.
everybody
Stay like
just
David.
says, oh, just get up early. Just get up earlier. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I've been for these 29 years and 10 months? It doesn't work like that. It can't work like that. I'm
having
built
a
for
great
this.
time.
Oh, good for you.
I hate that it's dark at 5 o'clock, but I actually feel like I'm waking up refreshed for work because I get to sleep in because I am not a morning person.
Why do we
It's
still
only
do
going to be a
this?
matter of time until it my brain corrects itself and then I'm
Right.
back in the same position again that I already was before daylight savings time, which was blowing through my 3 alarms and then waking up for the last possible one and going, God, why do I keep doing this to myself?
As God intended.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it says that in like Leviticus or some shit. I don't know.
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. There's
God
a lot of
commanded
words.
we save this daylight at the
So-
cost of our own sanity.
So a lot of politics happened this week.
Politics? What's that?
That thing that's slowly driving us all insane, even though it should be boring and mundane.
I would
Yeah.
like a precedent time, please.
Please.
I don't think you really want that because of all the precedent times that we've known in this country, they really weren't great for most people living in them.
What?
Touche.
What?
That's great.
It's almost like the 1950s were only good for people that looked like me. That's crazy. Nah. Everybody got along, and then the hippies had to come along and shake
The
things
hippies had to
up
come in and bring everybody down.
with their rock and roll music.
But no, shout outs to all the Democrats who won this week. We love y'all.
Boy.
That's pretty
Appreciate
neat.
it.
Zo run, zo run, zo run, zo run.
Okay. Apparently, New York City is now just the state of New York. He is
We're
He is
all
everyone's
going
mayor.
feral. It's great.
Kaylie, you're basically in Canada, and you're claiming this man as your mayor.
I don't know what anything better Canada has to offer as like a political figure right now. Political plans, sure. Political figures right now, no idea.
All right, touche.
Come back to
One-
me
one
when
Katy
you got
Perry
one.
dating the ex-prime minister of
Ew.
Oh.
Canada.
Right. I did hear about that. That's weird.
That is a little weird.
Right.
I mean, okay, hear me out.
Uh-huh.
Does it kind of feel like a spiritual successor to when you found out that Avril Lavigne and Chad Kroeger of Nickleback are married?
No.
I don't know why I'm getting those vibes. Where it's spiritually the same. Where it's like two people that used to be kind of cool but are now like kind of cringe. Except this time it's a former leader of the free world.
I'm less concerned with that and more concerned now with the question of does Chad Kroeger have any connection to the Kroeger family who own the grocery stores?
Different spelling. Also,
Shit!
Also, he's Canadian.
Damn it! There goes my theory.
I don't know. Maybe Nickelback in like 2003 had the same power that a Canadian prime minister did, at least for a brief window of time.
I'm not willing to fact check that now.
I don't
Look
think
at
you
this
could.
graph. And it's just like a GDP chart.
The economy is in shambles.
The economy is in shambles. Every time I do it makes me laugh.
Chad, no. We need to fix this. This is a problem. People are losing their homes. Factories are closing.
He's just maniacally laughing over the graph. He's just like, Mr. Prime Minister, please, we need your leadership right now.
Okay, oh, there's a fun question.
Okay.
What band or like musician frontrunner guy of a band perhaps
Mhm.
would you trust to be like, it doesn't have to be like the United States of America, but to like be the leader of a country? Like, yes, this guy knows what he's doing. I will follow him without question. Or her.
Juicy J of 3-6 Mafia.
You had that like loaded and like ready to fire immediately, and I love that.
He's sipping on some scissor.
Okay. What's the political platform? What's his slogan?
Scissor.
Just that, nothing else.
Just that.
It's his form of healthcare.
SZUUURRP apostrophe.
I feel like you could make an entire like presidential cabinet out of just the members of the Wu-Tang Clan, and like
Okay.
they can all fill different roles, you know.
Yeah.
ODB is the Secretary of Defense. We've killed everybody.
It was either that
I
or
blew up
Ghostface
Malaysia.
Killer.
Shut up.
I don't know. The RZA, where does he fit in? Who has the most complex verbiage in Wu-Tang Clan to be the Secretary of Education?
That's Jay-Z. RZA's probably president, but I feel no. I think Ghostface is president.
I have a very embarrassing thing to admit about myself that will like not faze Kaylie in the slightest, but will make you very disappointed in me, Bo.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I could have sworn for a long time that DMX was part of Wu-Tang, and I was wrong. I told you.
I just imagine Cream, dollar bill, y'all. Random barking and like New York
barking
style
intensifies.
In fairness,
Yeah.
there's like 30 guys in Wu-Tang, so
There's a lot of guys in Wu-Tang.
there's an entire cabinet. You know what? All right, Wu-Tang fills up the cabinet. DMX is like the Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Speaker of the House, no.
And then
We call this joint into session. Hey, MTJ, sit your bitch ass down. Why is my DMX just The Rock?
I was gonna say, why does it sound like fucking Mr. T?
if you smell orf.
I don't know if I have like a leader of a country, but I'm like, it's probably my homegrown bias. I would in a heartbeat vote for as like governor of the state of Florida, Doechii.
Yeah. Swamp Queen.
No questions. Exactly. No questions asked.
No questions asked.
She is the Swamp Queen. She knows what she's doing. I trust her without question.
No,
She
I like
pulls up.
this.
I'm running for mayor. Take my money.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but no, I do know why. It's because of my deep adoration for this man. I would trust Weird Al Yankovic with the nuclear codes.
How did I know that was who was going to be coming out of your mouth?
Because you know my heart, Kaylie Horowitz. You've known me for a decade now.
Fuck.
Well, almost a decade, but all the same.
No,
Actually,
it's
over
been
a
more than a
decade.
decade. It's been over a decade. That I was reeling from the passage of time. Oh
Yeah.
my God,
You
you're
know,
right.
Deep in my chest cavity, the sound of my heart is not lub-dub,
accordion?
it's honk-honk, because I am a silly goose. And the doctors are
accordion.
concerned. Yeah. If you were to put
How did you get that in there?
if you put a stethoscope up to my chest, you would just hear constant polkas going on.
Scientific anomaly in there.
I am a wonder of engineering and biomedical disaster.
You get the rage bait click thumbnail. It's like doctors hate his secret.
It's stuffing an accordion into his chest.
His respirator is just an accordion.
When I get a cold, you can like hear like a B minor being played.
All right. So speaking of politics, I refuse to. This November, y'all.
Yeah.
I refuse to bend the knee to Kris Kringle and his jolly making.
Mhm.
We don't need that capitalist propaganda yet.
No.
Eventually, we will.
Yeah.
But not yet.
Because I don't know what I'm getting people for Christmas. I kind of need it.
I'm broke. I'm
Yeah,
feeling a little vindictive. I'm feeling a little vengeful.
A little violent.
Feeling a little
Feeling
vicious.
a little vicious, a little Victorian England. I couldn't think of another V word. It's V for Vendetta.
I love that, like, based on when this will come out, it will accidentally come out on the 6th rather than the 5th of November.
Remember the 6th of November. Shit.
Shit,
We
shit.
forgot.
When this episode came out, it's about the 5th of November, but I never remember. Wait, fuck.
It's not even a leap year, but well, I need something to blame.
So V for Vendetta, the favorite movie of the worst kid in your drama class.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. In a nutshell, that is absolutely
All right, that was
it.
the episode, y'all. Thanks for coming
Good
by.
night.
A very well-made movie and iconic
Mhm.
comic book that unfortunately now belongs to the hands of Reddit moderators everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can get into it. Gibby and Kaylie watched the movie. I read the comic. What are overall thoughts?
You know, I was surprised by how engrossed I was in it
hmm
because I came in with such a heavy expectation of I'm going to cringe at this whole thing because of how the Guy Fawkes mask and iconography of this movie has been appropriated by, like I said, Reddit mod culture, the sort of like internet libertarian who has not showered in weeks. And to actually go back to the source material for it is a very curious watch because overall, I think it's a pretty well constructed movie and it's interesting. And I'll be interested to talk about how it differs from the graphic novel because of the different time periods it was made in.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kaylie.
I think, like, straight up, your point at the beginning of just it's surprisingly well made, it is quite true. Before we were starting, we were talking about like, oh right, this is produced, directed by the Wachowskis. Oh yeah, okay, that explains a lot.
They've made a couple good movies. Who would have guessed?
Wow, no shocker. But like truly, I remember not really engaging with this movie like in its initial heyday. This came out 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. And so I was on the periphery of it in the late aughts, 2010s kind of time. Again, like based on who was watching it, it rubbed me the wrong way and I wasn't fully interested in checking it out. And then getting a chance to like sit down and look at it, I'm like, no, but it is actually like well made. It's cringy in some places, just kind of seeing where the concepts, where the themes have kind of been warped and taken away and what have you. But as its own commentative piece, as its own sort of like examination of political discourse, dystopia. It's our favorite genre of the 2000s, dystopia movies. Yay!
Right.
Seeing what it does with that in its own style. I think it gets to be a little heady, but also grounds itself either kind of nicely, I guess, in that like, oh right, but now we're actually kind of doing some kick-ass stuff because it's a comic movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being reminded of that fact, I think, and you switch kind of gears back and forth, perhaps a little bit much in that sense, but like overall, I'd say the cohesiveness is there.
For a little bit of plot for the dear listeners, way in the far off year of 1997, the world has experienced nuclear fallout and is already better. It just didn't happen. It was crazy.
Fallout was completely wrong then. God.
Yeah, they were like, this shit takes hundreds of years. It's like, not if you're English. It
Not
takes
the way I
like-
use them.
But a war has broken out. Nuclear fallout happened. Apparently, Africa and Europe just quote aren't there anymore.
Which I forgot about that. Just the, like, oh, really now?
It's like, yeah, they're gone. America's still there. We're not going there, but it's still there. But Africa, Europe, gone. Asia, don't worry about it. But
Gee, Britain, you don't have anything you want to talk about there? Nope. Cool, great.
After this unnamed war, corporation has taken over what was left of England. They turned out to be everybody's favorite word, fascist. Use their power and a little bit of religious spark to take over the government reestablish a new one, and here we are in our little dystopia. We join our main character V, who is like a superhero but also insane, as he is fed up with it all and decides to do a little anarchy. Just as a
Yeah.
treat.
It's a little treat. He can have a
treat.
little anarchy as a treat.
You do a little bit of terrorism here and there. You blow up a building. You kill a guy for vengeance.
What
right?
murder?
I don't know if this was played out in the 80s. So the comic came out in the 80s, and it's interesting how much dystopia stuff was also happening then, right? Because this is the same time as stuff like the book Poor Things was based on. I can't remember what it's called. That was around this time.
Frankenstein.
Well, the second one. The book anyway, Akira was also made around this time. So dystopia was on the brain of a lot of writers.
You ever think that we're just perpetually living in a state of dystopia that morphs into an unrecognizable state that's still dystopia, that we project more dystopia onto later in the future?
I think it is part of the human condition to be depressed about the present and assume the worst is happening, and it bothers me, but that's a different conversation.
We don't have time to unpack all of that.
No, we gotta use more V words, like
Vegetable.
yeah.
Vegeta.
Vegeta.
I literally blanked. Like the rainbow wheel was spinning.
Veggie Tales.
Does that count? Okay. The comic obviously takes its time more than the movie. Movie's like what, an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah, like 2:15, between 2:15 and 2:30 or something.
Yeah. The comic has 10 issues, all like 30 pages each.
Only 10. Wow, that's so few issues.
Yeah. It was originally
I'm being a little shit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't even
Just
catch that.
ignores it.
Yeah. No sold that. It was originally released in black and white in like a newspaper or something, and then when DC bought the rights to it, they added colors and funny places, and then put them in a bunch of books, and we're like, here you go.
A graphic novel. Wow.
And we'll call it a novel, but it has graphs. No.
Look at
The
this
GDP.
God, we're on one tonight.
Nickelback, what are you doing here?
Get out! Mr. Kroger, you have to run Canada!
You pull off the Guy Fawkes mask.
Jesus. That would actually go hard.
He's come to seek vengeance for all the jokes about his mediocre band, actually, like, and all the claims that it was the worst thing to humanity that ever.
They were
It all
right.
makes sense now. No.
It's interesting that it looks at dystopia in the 1980s, because a lot of the comparisons that you can make to this story in both forms are very Orwellian, in which something like 1984, George Orwell is looking at the concept of a future dystopia from the perspective of a British man living in the 1940s, looking ahead to the 1980s. His ideas, coming from the fascism that he's already experienced, as well as the totalitarianism that he sees coming up in the future, what with the Soviet Union and the Iron Curtain that's being hung up. And then to compare that to how we're viewing a dystopia in the original graphic novel, as well as how that idea of dystopia changes in the movie. For example, you have more modern, or at least at the time of the movie's release, ideas
2006 model.
of dystopia, such as the introduction of widespread surveillance. Like, one of the main things that the detectives and the police force are using throughout it are cameras to track everybody across the city. I can't imagine, well, is that an element that's in the graphic novel as heavily?
No, not at all. There's definitely the aspect of the secret police, right?
Yeah.
But they're not doing grander surveillance outside of the detective. I don't know if the detective is in the movie.
Oh yeah, they have kind of a more basic detective narrative going on at the same time. But it's interesting to see how that, like, idea of dystopia and a fascist and, you know, totalitarian government changes through different time periods lenses.
Yeah, man, it's interesting because it's a question of are the tools of the state the same and have been the same for the last like 100 or so years,
Yeah.
or are people inspired by works in the past and saying and trying to like connect the lines and repeat it? I think the answer is probably it's a little bit of both. It's
Yeah.
a lot of bit of both. I don't think we're ever going to stop telling stories that way,
Yeah.
right?
No.
Like I think 1984 is going to turn out to be one of those immortal texts
Mhm.
that just keeps getting repeated over and over again. And Viva Vendetta is one of those derivatives of it, you know?
Yeah. And like it changes. There's different flavors to it. Like the 2006 version is much more about like Bush style, which is, you know, an interesting thing that it's like the Wachowskis, who I believe are American, taking a British story and adding like an American tilt to it. Like in the original source material, it's like fascism versus anarchy versus in the newer version of it, it's fascism versus liberty. Like anarchy isn't even mentioned
Yeah.
by word in the movie. Like all these concepts of liberty, whether it be like freedom of religion or like freedom of sexuality, like were there any elements in the original about like characters who were gay, lesbian,
Yeah,
being
there
part
there
of
were
it?
mention of them, right?
Mhm.
Because part of the what are the bad guys called? Knows something.
Norse fire,
Norse
nose
fire.
fire. I
Norse
even said
fire.
nose
Yeah.
fingers. Norse fire.
There's fingers and there's noses, and you
Yeah.
put the
Right.
fingers in the nose.
Yeah,
No,
but yeah.
Norse fire.
Part of their taking over was getting rid of all the people of color, getting rid
Yeah.
of all the gay people, getting rid of all of the liberals.
Yeah,
Which again is very convenient for Britain to not have to reckon with any of these things.
Yeah, why would they?
Yeah.
Stupid. Hail to the king. But
Fuck Charles. Fuck that man.
They mention it, right? Because they have to. The thing about, and we can use this to transition to talking about the characters.
Mhm.
The thing about V is he's our hero, but he's a bad person.
yeah,
I think the movie goes out of its way to try to not make V objectively evil.
He's the sexy anti-hero.
yeah.
Yeah, like he's definitely an anti-hero, but it's the same thing they did with Watchmen, right?
Mhm.
Where they didn't want to make the characters are all bad people,
Yeah.
even though they're the good guys. But in the movie, they definitely dilute that a little bit just to make it a little more palatable, right?
Owlman did nothing wrong. He was just a nerd.
Yeah, exactly, right. It's like, they're gonna kill people. But with V, specifically in the comics, right? We already said, there's I guess you call it a speech. There's a speech
Mhm.
about freedom and what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it's done by one of the main bad guys, and it's him. It's to show his own version of madness, where he's like, people don't deserve freedom. People don't need freedom because freedom is chaos. You know, the megalomaniac shit.
Yeah.
We then immediately go to V, and he has his own dialogue about freedom, and he's talking to a statue of Lady Liberty. For the first guy sees a statue of Lady Liberty and talks about how he's in love with liberty and order and whatnot. We then see V talking to that same statue, but instead of having an internal dialogue, he's having an external dialogue where he's also mimicking the voice of the statue, which definitely shows, oh, this guy's unstable. And he goes out of his way to say, I was in love with liberty. Now I'm in love. I found a new love. That is anarchy, right? Nothing about freedom, nothing about freeing people. He's like, I just want to break shit.
Yeah. And like,
Which is a choice.
which
Yeah.
certainly is. If I had a nickel for every time Alan Moore wrote an unstable masked character that Redditors took lots of inspiration from, I'd have 2 nickels, which is concerning that it happened twice.
My man loves his masked, insane, maybe super strength having anarchist, man.
Which is a wild thing because like Alan Moore, like as a writer, has gone on to say like he has a disdain for how superheroes are portrayed. Like
hmm
in that he thinks that so many of them kind of coddle us rather than challenge us. Like they are like keepers of the status quo, which in some ways, and I don't mean to misquote him, so apologies to Mr. Moore, the wizard looking man that you are. Please don't use your powers to curse me.
Shouts out more.
Too late.
He wants to like subvert that because it doesn't challenge, it only upholds. Like one of the things he had talked about with writing the comic was that he didn't want to tell people how to think. He wants people just to think.
hmm
Yeah.
And it the comic especially gives you a lot more freedom to say, okay, V is off his fucking rocker right now. Like, and you can come away with that. The same thing can be said of Rorschach, but it also can be said of, not to turn this into, half a Watchmen episode or anything, the same thing can be said of Ozymandias in Watchmen, where it's like, yes,
Right.
you're the villain, but we are presented with your full case, and there may or may not be some logic behind it. Go crazy. Make your decision on it. Versus the movie is kind of like, oh, but he's a swashbuckling hero.
The movie's definitely like Ozymandias is the bad guy. Don't question.
Oh, I
it.
was
He's-
talking
he's
about
wrong.
V. Like, yeah.
Oh yes. Also, I'll
Which one?
counter to that, man. Yeah, the movie is like, no, he's a little fucked up, right?
Yeah.
But he's fun. He's doing poetry and
He's just a
gallivanting
silly
around.
little guy.
Yeah. It's him and it's Natalie Portman. They're having fun, right?
Like the whole thing is that he is trying to be a symbol and not a person anymore, but he still retains a lot of humanity and personhood because a a person who has like no humanity within them wouldn't be quoting sword fights from 1930s like Count of Monte Cristo movies.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be a silly little guy wearing an apron and a very sexy bob haircut, you know. So there's like, as much as he rejects it, you're still a guy, and you're
Only a human, only a silly little guy can stop to make eggs in a basket.
the
Yeah.
indomitable power of the human spirit to wear a silly apron.
Cut hole in bread, put egg in.
His greatest power is being able to flip that egg without it going like halfway across the kitchen.
Right.
I do think that something is lost there.
Yeah.
In the commentary though,
Mhm.
that we've spoken so much about V. I had a really long debate with I watched, oh man, we're just like pulling everything we've ever seen for this shit. I watched One Battle After Another with some friends of mine recently. Very good movie. I hope it wins some Oscars.
Oh.
And it has the same kind of it's also a movie about anarchists,
Yeah.
right? It takes a different route where it starts with them as anarchists and then they have to work their way back into society because of stuff that happens to the movie, and there's a whole plot that springs off from there. But the thing I was trying to articulate to my friends when we were like debriefing after the movie is like, this is a story where the good guys are bad people,
Mhm.
and it's hard to see that when they're telling jokes in one battle after another. They're telling jokes, we relate to them, we want to see them succeed. But I was like, yes, I agree, these people are terrorists. They blow buildings up, they take
Mhm.
over military encampments. I may or may not agree with why they're doing it, but the issue is that they are doing it. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's lost again when you change V from a character who's basically a force of nature
Yeah.
in the comics. He has personality, he does all the stuff, right? But he's a broken person. He wants to break the system, and he is also going out of his way to break other people because he knows the system will outlast him.
There's also something that, like, less on the comic history or just path of anarchy and film kind of idea, but like V as a character, I feel like even if it wasn't the root cause, seemed to like inspire or encourage a kind of wave of further, whether they are sexy or not, anti-heroes with questionable you shouldn't maybe favor this character for the reasons you're favoring them
Mhm.
problem.
Can you think of
And
any examples?
well, I think we've kind of talked about this a little bit of like characters that are meant to be uh lessons or red flags versus idolized, like your sort of Rick Sanchez characters, complex, like moral quandary kind of characters that are like all the things you've kind of been saying. Like I'm also still, uh Spindlehorse pilled, and I'm thinking of Alistair, which is very similarly a character that gripped that fandom by being like Tumblr man, crazy kind of like sexy man. Like, oh yeah, like here is a character that is anarchy, that is purely here for entertainment and chaos. But we see these glimpses of the humanity. We see these glimpses of a past. We see things in there that are maybe redeemable, despite this character operating like a force of nature and not being a good, generally trustworthy person. Being so tricked and lulled, or wanting to be tricked and lulled into that. This is a good character. This is a good person. And I think in some of these ways, Alistair's on the lesser end of that extreme versus characters that are meant to be anti-heroes in that very clear, this is a hard space to navigate, agreeing with them while also maintaining your morality or your moral compass. Because exactly to Bo's point, it's that like you can agree with them in the narrative, but when you're sitting down to think about this in like real terms, real life, real consequences, there
Yeah,
it is
but
it's a great idea to blow up a system that's failed you, but you cannot solve everything by just encouraging everyone to blow up everything until there's nothing left.
yeah, I think to your point, because Alistair, if we're to use him as an example again, he's a
Mhm.
high status character in Has-Been
Mhm.
Hotel, correct?
Not the
Yeah,
most, but definitely of clawed for and earned status. Yeah.
yeah. So I think one of the reasons why a certain type of people gravitate to these peoples, right? Your Alistairs, your Ricks from Rick and Morty's, um, your V's, is because in order to justify a character who acts like that, they have to be extremely capable,
Yeah.
right? I think that's the consistent thing. Like V sets out to do something and it gets done, and he does it with a very cringy, dramatic flair,
Right, like
right?
they're smart. They use wordplay, they use banter, they're clever. Like
Mhm.
they are capable people, and that's what I think everybody wants to try to embody because
Yeah.
there's that like idolization that what's the manifesting, the like I can be that. I want
Yeah.
to do that.
Well,
I want to
because
feel that confident and smart.
But I think they have to, because if you have some dude walking around being like, I think we should blow everything up, and he's a fucking geek, then it's like nobody cares. It's like, all right, loser, go back to your dungeon or whatever. Get out of here.
I think there's another element that a lot of people hook onto with characters like this when we talk about anti-heroes, and I think it's an element of cynicism.
Mm.
Yeah.
With many of these characters, they have tragic backstories or they're searching for vengeance, and it's not very common that you'll see a chipper attitude or any form of, naivete or vulnerability. And I think it's easier to get attached to that because if you expect the worst, it's much less likely that you'll put your heart into something and get hurt as a result of it. When you look at a character, the one that I think of is like a Superman
Mm.
versus a V. Like you essentially have a character who's willing to believe like in the possibility of good versus somebody like a Rick Sanchez who has already accepted that things are bad and
Yeah.
he alone has the power to change it. And I think that's what hooks a lot of people in. They go, fuck it, I know better. I've been hurt. I don't want to get hurt again, so we're going to do it my way, no matter the methods that I take. Also, I need to address some of the characters that are listed as anti-heroes on Wikipedia,
Ooh,
because this is the most unhinged list I've ever seen before.
Hit
Go off,
me.
Queen.
On the same list that includes Hamlet and Lady Macbeth, you have Donald Duck, Greg Heffley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And then it gets kind of normal because you've got Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, sure, whatever. The Man with No Name from, Clint Eastwood fame. And then you have fucking Christian Grey from
Grey's Anatomy.
Shades of Grey. This is...
No, not the Anatomy, the other one, the other Anatomy.
This is also, shout out to noted anti-heroes that are right next to each other in the list. Geralt of Rivia and Shrek.
Yeah, boy.
Sorry. This is literary Shrek, not movie Shrek.
Yes.
Totally different. Yeah, just the fact that Holden Caulfield and fucking Greg Heffley are on the same list.
Wild list
is insane to me. I'm sorry for taking this conversation into such a strange avenue.
Literally, Geralt isn't an anti-hero. He's just sad.
This cursed knowledge had to be shared. That's all it
Fair
was.
enough.
It's also literary Geralt, so maybe.
Yeah, I know. I've read the
know.
books. I'm a fucking geek.
Oh, yeah.
Bo knows how to read.
You guys can read?
Supposedly.
Shit, I haven't done that yet. Should I?
No.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Jared's read a book once. I'd ask him before you start.
Shout out to Jared. So, other characters outside of Mr. Vendetta.
No one else matters. It's just V, but I guess we should talk about him.
No, Evie Hammond is the other, we call her protagonist, portrayed by one Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Queen.
Oh, Natalie.
We love Natalie.
I just can't get over that it's V and Evie. Evie. I hate it. It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's almost like writing is hard.
Names are hard. There's John, and there's Ron, and there's Don, and there's Sean. And anything beyond that is too hard.
It's too much. No, but there's a reason why her name is basically also V, right?
Yeah.
It's because we're all V.
In the movie we are.
Yeah.
In the movie we are most certainly not, or in the comic we are most certainly not.
Oh no.
Evie is a person who V has kind of just picked as, you're going to succeed me.
Yeah.
Come here now. You're mine. You're going to learn how to blow up all kinds of things.
You like fire and mask. Baby, do I got a job for you. Gibby and I were talking about this off pod. Her depiction in the comic versus the movie also has that flair of, hey, we wanted to make this a little more PC, a little more palatable.
Okay. For general audiences.
Yeah.
Which is why we put in Natalie Portman. Surprise, surprise.
I'm here for it.
Queen of the early 2000s.
Truly.
You never stop being one. But I think the big thing is they aged her up in the movie. In the comic book, she is 16.
That explains that one scene a lot more.
Yes. She is a child of war. When the war happened, she was very young. Both of her parents died. Her mom through sickness. Her dad was he was in a socialist group in college, but that was enough to get him taken away by the secret police. She spends the rest of her child, basically from age 12 to 16, in a child labor camp in a factory, putting together matchboxes. And a lot of the older girls in the camp said, hey, if you want money, if you want to get out of here, you can do sex work. And her first night trying to do sex work, she talks to a secret undercover cop. Fucking oops. And they say, we're going to kill you and also do other unspeakable things that I'm not going to say on the podcast. And that's when our boy V steps in and saves the damsel who was actively in distress.
Yikes.
But we also see like an evolution with Evie, right? Evolution Evie, where
Evolution.
EVs.
it's a mystery. We see that along the line, V has decided to work her into some of his plots. She's not down for it, so V then uses that as an opportunity to psyop the fuck out of her. I don't know how else to say it.
Gaslight.
Gas keep gate light boss girl.
Yeah. He gets her caught up in some gang shit. He actively tortures her psychologically. And once she gives up everything, and he does it to see if she breaks.
Yeah.
And once she doesn't break, he decides, now you're ready, and now we're friends. They also do that in the movie, right? Where he's the one who puts her in jail, and he's the one who tortures her.
No,
and
the
stuff.
fake jailing and the I'm gonna push you to see how much she will or won't reveal. I also recently watched Kingsman not too long ago, and I'm like, what the fuck is with the Brits doing the psychological torment kind of shit of like, oh no, there's no stakes. Oh my god, it's all stakes. Oh, just kidding.
Meanwhile,
you were never in danger.
Kaylie, this is kind of a weird pull, but did you get severe Phantom of the Opera vibes basically anytime we're like underground?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and this is something I wasn't sure where to fit this into this conversation, but since we talked about this on the last podcast episode, I might as well bring it back up here. But the kind of narrative character both issue that I have, part of it's with Phantom, and it's that kind of remnant of like, yeah, here we're trying to get away from being inspired by older things that were written of extremely young girls and women with creepy older men as like mentors, but kind of not.
Yeah.
And in that context and question of this kind of anti-hero and why there was such an appeal about it is also the Tumblr sexy men thing, which we see again Twilight, we see in other places of like this pattern of naive / ingenue younger girl and creepy who's lived too long, knows too many things mentor figure. That even when V is trying to teach her things that is, what he believes for her own good, or hoping to instill and pass on some of that legacy to her, there's that question of like, but she doesn't. This still feels like a fully non-consensual thing. Does she not know any better?
It feels like grooming. It feels like grooming.
It's not like she doesn't know better because it's the allegory of the cave. You don't know what you don't comprehend outside.
Yeah.
But at the same time, why is it being given to us so creepily and unsettlingly? Like, there's gotta be a better way,
I will defend the comic in that I don't know if this is defense of the comic or just how dudes write dudes. But he never comes onto her, and
no,
it's never implied that the relationship is sexual. And the second she starts to ask, "Hey, why haven't you made moves on me?" He kicks her out.
Yeah,
like the second that happens.
And I think that's kind of a like remnant thing that's like, I think maybe technically it would be part of that like under the male gaze thing, but there's something about the chemistry between these two in these scenes that make it feel kind of like female gaze. Like you start feeling a particular tension of what that relationship should be, even though it should not. Should not, but you feel that gap in some of these moments of tension between the two characters, which then makes it more uncomfortable when you sit there and go, is that what's supposed to be happening here? I don't know if I want that to be happening here. Why am I feeling like that's something that could be happening here?
Yeah, it's in a way, this is partly what gave me the Phantom of the Opera vibes, in that you have a horribly disfigured man like seeking vengeance underneath a mask, who
I'd have 2 nickels.
who falls for like somebody who he is training, is under his tutelage, and this is all a very charitable interpretation of it,
Duh.
I'd say. But
Slightly incorrect.
when given, some form of physical affection, there is like some form of, like recoiling from that, almost as if like
Mhm.
it's a human connection, but he's so far removed from it that it's almost like confusing, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like he asks to dance with her and like he says that he's fallen for her, but he's also like hesitant in some ways about it. So yeah, that there's some kind of strange discord between all of that, where I think you're right. There's like different perspectives that we're getting on it. And I would say overall, at least for the movie, it makes me uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but I think that's also intentional because
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it's necessarily presented as a good thing to fall in love with the guy who has gaslit you and kept you in fake prison.
Yes. And I think you're absolutely right. It's just the problem of there's like, I don't know if it's too many things since then
Mm.
or even prior, but it's that like, fuck, is it meant to be intentional? Like you're not, do not do this, like heed this warning, or, is that the point of this one? Or does it get caught up in the chaos of other stories with other situations, similar to that are not as clear in that direction?
Yeah.
And it creates mixed messaging.
I think it's
Because
just an exploration of like relationships, right? Because it's not
Yeah.
just V for Vendetta and Phantom of the Opera. It's the Count of Monte Cristo. It's It's the
It is
Man in the
for
Iron
as
Mask.
for as long as there have been wistful white women who don't understand that like there are things beyond their control, there will always be white women in stories looking at some insane man going, I can fix him.
Well, there's
Yeah,
also
right, exactly.
I really liked the quote from the movie where he's talking about how much he loves the Count of Monte Cristo, and when Evie talks about the characters, she says, "I like it, but it's obvious that he loves vengeance more than he'll ever love his wife,"
Yeah.
which I think is a pretty direct line for like how the movie goes.
Yeah, no, that one's kind of being a little bit blatant in
Yeah.
its slapping you in the face with like story
Direct
goal.
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then again, they aged her up in
Mm.
the movie so they could play more with the potential romantic tension
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
between the two.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do it in the comic book, that's a little not okay. I think it ends in 1998, so she would be turning 18 by the time the story is over.
Zoinks.
So yeah. not cool.
It's a good thing that none of the other characters matter though, right?
Yeah, it's not like she has sex with anybody else in the comic book. That's not a
No.
thing. No. Why would we ever show that for story? Impossible.
Oh Lord. We're gonna have a really awkward time talking about Berserk when we finally talk about Berserk.
Man, I'm excited.
Lord.
There's also a man in Iron
Prepare
Man,
to be
sexy man in a mask.
uncomfy.
Sexy man in a mask who also has too much power and is insane.
Can this be our new sub-series on the pod? sexy man in a mask with too much power.
Who just happens to be good at everything. Like you notice that
Yeah.
like both the Phantom and V are sensitive artistic souls who also are incredibly skilled in combat, architecture, literature, and any other powers? Like these are the original like Marty Sues. Like these are the self inserts where it's just like, yes, and I would take my katana and I would quote ancient haikus about this before I sliced and diced. Like something that I noticed about the movie, at least, is that V never really fails at anything. Like
Anything.
No.
there's
He
like
never
no,
does.
There's no conflict for him. There's conflict for Evie,
Exactly.
kind of-
He's just good at everything
Yeah.
all the time until he fucking dies.
He's the
his
embodiment of
terms.
like, nah, I'd win. Like,
Yeah.
Basically.
which, if your whole purpose is to be an unstoppable force of vengeance, I get it. Like, you've already had the failure, you've already had the struggle in like the backstory. Like, he's, like you said earlier, he's like a force of nature, whereas Evie is the protagonist. Like, she's the point of view character. Like, what's going to happen with V is going to happen, but he's giving her the choice to like be a more active protagonist and a more active narrative force. as
Yeah.
part
The audience didn't see my finger quotes around giving her the choice.
And-
This is
Yeah.
not a visual
Yeah.
medium.
Did you break or bend? Bend? Here's a mask, baby. Let's start some fires.
Also,
Bend and snap.
how the
Bend and snap.
how the
Get
fuck
outta
did
here.
this man FedEx ship 800,000 Guy Fawkes masks? Did he go on eBay and was just like, just max out my card, man? Like, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be dead in like 2 days.
Balls to the wall. Let's go.
Like,
Crafted them by himself.
you're telling me that like Orwellian Amazon wouldn't like flag his account or anything like that?
Hit
There's
up the
some
Prime
guy on
Minister.
TikTok that has been sending and returning an anvil from Amazon for months. He has
What?
been buying and then returning an anvil for months on end now.
What end?
For the purpose of being an inconvenience.
Oh, because
I
it's
would
very heavy?
not doubt. Exactly.
I get the spirit, but buddy, Jeff Bezos isn't the one that has to lift that anvil.
Yeah, some fool who gets paid minimum wage to work a night shift is moving that thing, man. You're not. Anyway, anarchy.
Exactly. Doing what you want because fuck it, you can, I guess. Anarchy.
I have no good segue, so that's been this episode of the Liberal Artist Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us on this venture. I had to get rid of the part that said ad. Damn it. Whatever. Follow us on all our socials, at LibArtistPod on Instagram and now on TikTok.
Yo, the clock app. Let's go.
We're there, baby. We're going global.
Until they ban it finally, but who knows?
And Trump likes it, so we'll see. Join us next time when we rig an election.
What?
Huh?
You could have told me that before we already let this one go by. Damn it.
This wasn't in the Google Notes.
Well, time to get busy.
Peace.
The Liberal Artists Podcast premieres every other Thursday on your favorite podcasting platform. The show is hosted by Bodio, Kaylie Horowitz, and Andy Gibson. You can find the show at LibArtistsPod on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks to White Hot for performing the theme song Reflect, which can be found on freebeats.io. Now, I'm off to go exploring, and maybe, just maybe, I'll find a sheep that I can call my own. Good day.
In the 1980s, it is looking at dystopia, and I'm going to no-sell those balloons because it didn't happen. In the 1980s, we're looking at dystopia.
Do tell us about dystopia. We'll try not to think of the balloons, Gibby.
I'm trying not to think of the balloons that were on screen because I accidentally gave a thumbs up to the camera.
Don't do it again.
I'm trying to resist temptation, but it's difficult. I can't look at the two of you right now. Okay, I'm going to go through my thought first. Oh no, now I'm imagining how silly the smiles you have are.
You're just making this harder for you tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Shit. Okay, I've got this.
I believe in you.